Hi, my name is Nariba Shepherd.
And I'm just known at Graham.
And this is Terms of Service. Burp, burp, burp.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that's staying in. That part's gonna.
The only burps that you will ever hear from me is that. How are you doing today, Justin?
I'm doing much better now. Thank you so much for checking in. Yeah, I'm a lot more, grateful these days, which I guess is like, new energy.
It's because you've been hanging out with Maria, and it's hard to not be grateful for things around her.
Very, very true. She has been an absolute wonder, and it's and when this drops, quite a few people will see what we have been up to.
Oh yeah.
And if they haven't seen a preview already online, and there'll be significant media around it, so it's good shit, And also, this will be after it happens, but very, very, very excited to share that we will be at the John Bonche Awards, just doing our thing there, talking with some culinary stars, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yep.
Because, sometimes it's kind of like, are we rambling on the internet? But also
Listen,
the numbers say
you
no.
literally told me that I can no longer say that.
It's entirely true. No. Yeah, I was like, no, we're not, because the numbers definitely...
I mean, we're still rambling on the internet, just more people are listening to the rambles now.
Quite a bit.
That's not a negative thing.
All the time.
It could be a good thing.
It is not a bad
Positivity.
thing. Yes, absolutely. So, Nariba, outside of the existential crisis of what you were mentioning earlier, how are you?
You brought it up, so I'm bringing it back. I am here for the anti-erasure of burps in the food service industry. Daniel coined that term.
Yeah.
But no, I'm doing pretty good. Seasonal depression is hard. But I find that if I wake up in the morning and I start cleaning things before I make my coffee and have a spliff, there's a 90% chance that I will not sit on the couch for the entire day. I'm also battling.
So accurate.
Yeah, I'm also battling this thing that there has to be a term for it. But if I am off and I have plans to leave my apartment to do anything, I will literally wait until 4 o'clock in the afternoon to leave my apartment. I have nothing to do. I could have done it while the daylight was out, but I'm like, 4 o'clock seems like the right time to go out into the world, and I'm just fucking tired.
I'm just doing things on your own time.
What time does the Jean Bonche? After 4.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Capable.
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, we will be there before then, though. So
listen, I've been mentally preparing for this for 3 weeks now. I can go out in public. I can shake babies, kiss hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, yes. So I. Like I had already mentioned, that I am very, very grateful and just extremely, extremely excited for this episode for a just litany of reasons. It has been a long time coming, and I'm so fucking stoked that it's here. Yeah. We are with Sean and Daniel of Chicago Cane Cooperative, and I'm so happy. And I am not going to intro you all because you can do it so much better than I can. So, Don, how are you?
Well, in this moment, I'm great. I'm so excited to be here.
Great.
This is so fun. It's been such a long time coming. It's been the biggest edge of my life to this point. It's just great.
You're like, is it happening? Is it not happening? What's going on? This roller coaster,
It's happening.
Yeah, well,
we're in the moment. It's happening.
Very
We're
much.
fucking here.
Yes. Daniel.
We're out here.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. I'm recovering still from Saturday karaoke when my wife and some friends decided to sing Nickelback.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Still actively recoiled from that experience, but otherwise I'm good.
Okay.
I'm super excited
What
to be
Nickelback?
here.
What?
Yeah,
song?
what's the song?
Hey, I wanna be a rock star.
Okay. All right.
But you can't sing more than that, or else then we have to pay for it. So
Yeah, we'll get striked.
Nice.
Striked. whatever the word is.
Struck from the record.
DMCA, whatever the.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's why we have the things in place.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be just fine.
They're gonna erase that just like they erase my
That burp
burps.
erasure.
Yeah.
Oh my
Burp
gosh.
erasure is real.
But we'll probably just put like a little, signature. Like I think that's clear because it's like
3
2.5
seconds.
seconds,
Yeah.
so it'll be just fine.
If I
Less than
butcher it
4.
enough, does it like not count? I feel like that's a.
Well, then I feel like it's very on brand for
I
that
don't
band.
know. I
but
feel like
that's
Nickelback
me, so.
butchered their entire career and they still exist, so it does count. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's a lot of layers here.
Craig Chowder, whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh my
The singer,
God.
whatever the fuck.
Oh
Is he
my
Canadian?
God.
He's
He
Canadian.
is
They're Canadian. They're like.
It's a Christian band.
Are they?
What?
I
Yeah,
know.
Nickelback is Christian music. I just figured this out like 3 weeks ago. The first Paramore album, also Christian.
Yes.
Yes.
So hold on. Don't get me started on Paramore.
I love Paramore.
Do you know? Oh wait.
I love
Are we gonna have a fucking moment?
Haley Williams
I
is.
love
She's
Paramore.
everything.
Okay, favorite album. Go.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I am a child, I would say second album that's like
Riot?
black and white all over
Riot?
Paramore.
Yeah.
Riot, yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you listen to an album so much that when you hear a song on a playlist, you think that the next song is gonna start.
Yes,
That's like
yes.
that.
Yes.
That album is that for me.
Yes. Agreed.
And yours?
Agreed. My favorite's the second to latest one after Laughter.
The Twilight one?
No, the one with like all the like really fun like Memphis design on
Yes,
the cover.
yeah.
That album's fucking incredible. It's so
See,
good.
and I'm
Black people
realizing that
fucking
I don't
rule
know.
for her.
Yeah, there's this dude on TikTok that has a whole series of white artists that black people
Yeah.
just simply cannot get enough of.
Paramore,
and,
Paramore,
and they're up there alongside
Fall Out Boy.
Hell yeah.
Black, listen, just
No,
because
I'm
you
just saying
know.
for him. I'm just saying for him. I was like, I have not seen it. Obviously, Natasha Bedingfield is out there. I was like,
Oh my
you put
God.
that shit on.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I was like,
forgot about.
it is unwritten, babe.
It is unwritten.
Yeah. I was like,
Hashtag never forget.
yeah, never.
That song is so good.
Yes.
It's so
And
good.
so now understanding everyone's musical preferences here.
What's your signs, though?
Oh right, I forgot y'all do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot y'all do this.
Yeah.
Don't come at me. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, that's acceptable.
Okay.
Well.
I'm a Virgo.
Yes.
Okay. So
No, go ahead.
only thing that I was going to say, it's like, I appreciate you being a Scorpio, because I don't appreciate Scorpio men very much. So,
I hear that all the time.
no, but you're the exception to the
I'm
rule.
like, wait,
You're
but like,
absolutely
I'm not like
fantastic.
other girls. Okay.
Too fucking shit.
I'm, not like other Scorpions.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, I'm here for all of that. Virgo.
Virgo.
Yes.
This is the Virgo Rising gang. We
I'm
are
also a
comprised.
Virgo rising.
Damn!
Yeah, it's that.
That is organization oh. 2.0.
My moon is also in Virgo.
Wow.
So you're
does that
just
mean?
existing to like, okay, so Virgos
Vertigissimo.
are one, always on. Like, everything is
sounds like.
You are always
ready
on.
to like
Daniel.
present. I'm here.
Yeah.
It's a very grounded sign in terms of like generally lists or like some sort of like follow through of steps is what Virgos need to like get shit done.
That's accurate. I can talk about the system I discovered in college for getting shit done, and it is a lot of lists that are really intense and only I understand.
That
Yes.
sounds like
Yeah.
you. This 1000% sounds
Yeah.
You're
like
a
you.
standards and procedures type of girl.
Oh, totally.
Okay, that's fair.
Aquarius, this guy, they're basically air Virgos because they always have an end goal, but you like don't know how they're gonna get there.
But like he has like Appa to like fly on.
Yes.
Is that what we're saying?
Pretty much.
Okay.
You fucks with Appa?
Uh-huh.
Airbenders.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's okay.
Heard of it.
Yeah.
Heard of it. So, Netflix.
How about that
Feed it
Netflix?
on there.
They got
Yeah.
two of them. One's with a boy and one's with a girl.
That's right.
You got options.
There's
Dude.
also the live action
I really
Oh my
watched that.
God, it
No,
looks-
another one?
No, a new one.
The
On
new
Okay,
one.
Netflix, like
better
a
be
series.
fucking
It
better.
better be better instead of the like
M. Night Shyamalan.
dancing for
okay.
2
Awful one?
minutes.
It was
M.
terrible.
Night
Loving Heavens.
Shyamalan gave us Servant on Apple TV, which is fucking amazing. If you haven't watched
Oh,
it,
no, I
this is
haven't
not a
seen it.
plug. Do it. It's wild.
Okay.
There's 4 seasons when there should not be 4 seasons, but you will
Servant?
watch. Listen.
I haven't seen it.
It's
I'm like a
about-
Foundation fangirly, and I'm.
It's basically so. The premise is
Foundation.
this woman. Her kid dies. She hires a nanny.
Okay.
For the fake doll, because you know the rebirth dolls, those like really creepy ones that look
Wait,
like babies that you could buy online.
No.
It looks like a newborn baby. It like, yeah. So they're called rebirth dolls, and so they get one, and she's like, "This is my baby," taking care of it. They get a nanny.
Holy shit.
Nanny equally is fucking Delulu, and is taking care of this real baby, and then this fake baby, and at the end of the first episode, it becomes a real baby.
Whoa.
And the husband, who's a completely normal human being, is like, "What the fuck is happening?"
See,
and
I
that's
can't
the
follow
series.
literally
Yo.
any of that because I just
Night
watch
Shyamalan.
Law and Order SVU.
Yeah.
Like that's as far as I will go. Like Olivia Benson, like that's my
Top
peak.
tier.
You know, like I'm anything outside of that, I'm just like you have lost me.
My
I'm
hobby
just like,
is TV.
I'm just like the
get
heinous
it.
crimes make me understand it.
That's
You
right.
made me understand that in like 20 minutes. You got me for the remainder of the show. And that's how it's been for fucking 15 years while I've been watching that show.
There you go.
So, yeah, there has not been a single fucking episode that I have missed.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Commitment.
Yeah, I would probably say. Actually, I'm not going to do this. So it's just
Okay,
it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
And
So it's
young
a lot.
Daniel
It's a lot.
is a Scorpio, which is the most elusive of all of the signs.
Young Daniel, just as like a phrase for me, like as a name, I fucking love that.
Oh,
No
nice.
one's ever
Young
said that to me.
What?
Young Daniel. That sounds sick. I fucking love that.
Yes.
I'm adopting that. That's mine now. I'm taking it. I'm Young Daniel from now on.
Hell yeah.
Well, welcome to the
You need a
TLS
squire.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's fucking go.
I fucks with the Scorpio energy because they're like generally always down to clown, have a good time, but do not ask a single solitary personal question because if they don't want to answer it, you will know nothing about them.
Yeah. So like.
Absolutely nothing.
1000%. Also, like,
Got a lot
I've
of
done a lot
Scorpios
of
in my
work
life.
over the past, I don't know how many years, a while, to like be, especially with people that I care about, to be like an open, vulnerable person and
Yes.
try to like
You
open
evolved.
that door. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which was a fucking
you're a
struggle.
Ninetales now.
Hell yeah.
Not the
Pokemon
OG.
reference? Let's go. I almost
And I'm
wore-
just sitting in the middle being like, word.
Appa, don't know him.
I've heard of it.
M. Night Shyamalan, that's a ding dong. You're just like,
I was this close to wearing a Blastoise sweater for this.
Listen, I want a tramp stamp that is Bulbasaur with like all of the like fucking
Vines and
vines coming
shit?
out, and then it's like Squirtle on one side and
hell
Charmander
yeah.
on the other.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Like a
I've been-
Charlie's Angels kind of
Yes,
setup. Like,
exactly. Tramp stamp.
Let's
Is that
go.
Pokemon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
But then I found out that if you
Gotta catch 'em all.
have a
Yeah,
tattoo
yeah, yeah.
anywhere
Pikachu.
on your
Yeah.
spinal cord and you are going to give birth to a child and they have to give you an epidural,
Oh, you're
it is
fucked.
harder for them
Yeah.
to locate the area.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my present to myself. If I ever push a human being out of my body,
Hell yeah.
I'll do it right after and be like, because that's it. Nothing else is coming out.
Wait, so on tangents
Yes.
and on tattoos and spinal cords. I'm talking about, okay, so I'm paralyzed. I just had an accident. Just gonna throw that out there. Yeah, you can laugh. That's fine. The delivery there was just out there.
Yeah, I was like,
That is 1000% okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah.
We're going there.
Yeah.
No, an idea I had. So this whole thing's been awful. We can talk about it later, or we can talk about it now. I don't give a shit. But one thing I wanted to say, I'm talking about spinal cord and tattoo, is here's an idea. I gotta wait for the scar to heal. But obviously, had the accident. They cut me open, put rods to straighten my spine, whatever. So I have a scar going up my back. While I was in Shirley Ryan, the hospital here, incredible facility, by the way. Plug Shirley Ryan, fantastic.
Yep.
Literally like the top rehab center for spinal cord injury in the country.
Oh, nice.
Phenomenal that's here in Chicago. So whatever. While I was there, I got the idea. Are y'all familiar with kintsugi? So kintsugi is the thing. Max like, yeah. Kintsugi is it's this Japanese thing where sometimes they do it on purpose, but like if a piece of ceramic breaks,
Okay,
you put
yeah.
it together with like gold leaf.
Yeah.
And it's meant to, like, the philosophy behind it is like highlighting the break.
Yes.
Right? And
Yeah.
like embracing the break and it being like a new thing because of it. So tattoo idea, kintsugi gold leaf up on my scar, my spinal cord
yeah.
scar.
Love that.
My wife was like, maybe wait a couple years for that to heal before you do that. Which, yeah.
Sage's got a point with that.
I mean, they will.
Fair point.
Yeah. I mean,
Very
a good
valid.
tattoo artist will also say that to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
They'll be like,
So-
I'm not going to do that for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
But dope idea.
But
Thank
that's
you.
really cool.
I'm going to do it at some point. It'll happen.
Listen, before we like move away from this, I just want to say, so we were recorded with Jesse.
Yeah.
And we were like over there talking, and I said, "Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white pants." And he was like, and we had just been talking about how y'all are coming in next.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I want, like, what's going on with him? What happened with him? And I just looked at him and I was like, he was in a car accident.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm talking about Daniel. And then I laughed the most inappropriate
Yeah, it was
laugh
wild. It was
for
wild.
so long
It was
because I
wild.
was like, no. And he was like, no, that's not what I meant. I was talking about the guy with the vans.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, he's on TikTok. He's fine.
Yeah. He's
Like,
good. He's good.
Feel like he's doing
it was
just
like the most inappropriate thing that happened
I'm here for
before
it.
caffeine
I'm
this
here for
morning.
it. Yeah.
So I'm glad we're all in it together.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean it is a very in tandem journey. So with that,
We should do the thing.
yes.
Yeah.
If you both would like
Julie,
to,
do the thing.
Yes. If you would both like to talk a bit about your respective backgrounds, and then we'll tie in what y'all are doing together.
You want to go
So-
first? Or
I don't care.
my name is Daniel Anje Regueira Santos. I was born in New Orleans. No, so yeah, I don't know. Cuban American kid. Been living in Chicago since 2014. Working service on and off. Man, R.I.P. to Spritzburger. Y'all ever heard of
What the fuck is
Spritzburger?
Spritzburger?
It was in Boys Town on Broadway and like where Broadway and is it Clark? By that IHOP on
Broadway and
Halsted
Halsted.
and
Yeah.
Broadway. It was
I
right.
live right over there.
It was like
It's
Kitty
near-
Corner or
it's
whatever.
the Kit Kat.
That's
Yeah.
where I worked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be right over there. What?
So that was my first job in Chicago. Was that joint? Great place, great burgers. It was owned by two gay guys. They had a sandwich called the Chick-fil Gay, which was incredible. It was a fried chicken sandwich with collard greens on it.
Ooh.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, that
Fucking
sounds
phenomenal. So
Delicious and a hangover cure. So
truly. So yeah,
even if you
doing
don't
that-
drink, I mean, I'm just saying it.
that's right.
It's gonna cure something.
No. you can have a hangover without drinking.
Yeah.
I've had
Also,
plenty of those days.
Yeah.
If I take
exactly, yeah.
NyQuil and I
Hazy
don't
days. I
sleep
get it,
for
yep.
8 hours, I will feel hungover.
Oh, so you're my wife. Got it. Okay.
Sometimes you just need to sleep all the way through the NyQuil.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you're just fucked up for the rest
That's
of the
right.
day.
Shout out to Sadie.
She gets it.
So yeah, I don't know that, and then I went into like graphic design and marketing agencies and stuff, and then in 2020. So I guess is it cool if I just tell the story of how we meet now that we're there, or do you want to introduce yourself before I do that?
I can introduce myself, and then we can get to how we were there.
Yeah.
And then we can,
Yeah.
wow, the combined.
Exactly.
Come on,
and, like,
babe.
and then we're gonna lie.
All right. So I point the light at Sean.
Yes.
This is my moment.
Yes. Welcome to it.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I actually have a background in arts. I'm an artist. I have degrees in music composition.
Love.
So I have written music, and my inspiration with music has been very healing for me in my life, and especially when I was growing up and I wasn't out yet. It was really hard for me to relate to other people, and I turned to music as a source to find myself. So I really wanted to continue a career in music to offer that to other people, to work with other people who are working in similar ways, because I see that as a foundation of community. So I'm working on this, which, surprise, doesn't make a lot of money.
Crazy.
Yeah, so
Spoiler.
while I was doing that, I was also, yes, look at this culture we live in.
Yeah.
So I was also working in hospitality. I worked at a couple places in Cleveland while I was in undergrad, and then moved to Chicago. worked in different restaurants. I actually helped open Passerotto with Jennifer Kim, which is also how I learned about you all.
I love her.
So
Oh, right.
Yes,
That
shout
was
out to
like-
Jennifer Kim. We love her so much.
she's like
Yes.
just a really amazing
Human.
mentor from like I don't know if she considers, but like I learned so much from that restaurant and watching her work. She's another Virgo. And that
Oh, yeah, she
work
is.
ethic
Big
is
Virgo
just
energy.
like so I just learned a lot from her.
I was like, how many
and
times have we shouted out Jennifer Kim on terms of service?
A
It
fair
doesn't
amount.
matter
A fair
because
amount.
she deserves it.
deserves it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So had these experiences in restaurants, some amazing like Passerotto and some not, and
Yeah.
it really was
wanna name
interesting to
names?
me. So
No.
I was while I was there working for what everybody
say
in the
it.
industry calls their real job, as though what we're doing is not living life and working
Yeah.
in these jobs that we just don't like, but
Right.
can't confront that we don't like them because
Right.
we're not treated well.
Right.
So I
on it.
got the real jobs.
Talk to him.
Worked in creative marketing. I wanted to combine my music skills, creating these projects, to work in creative marketing. And learned that these places also are terrible
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
very different reasons.
Also not
They
very
also
Work
don't.
is bad.
Yeah, like why do we have this work culture? So
I've done too much acid to not get very in depth on that, but that is a different discussion.
That's right. That's right.
So
Later,
with
later,
this
later.
Yes.
is this foundation
some
of
time.
like
Yeah.
I want to create better work experiences for other people.
Right.
Yeah.
And for myself, because it's been this like treacherous relationship with work in my entire life, and I want it to be better. So enter Daniel and my friendship. His wife was in the same grad program as my partner at the time.
Yeah.
So we met while we were hanging out. I don't know if you want to dive in.
So
on
like
this
the
one.
way I
Yeah.
like to describe it to everyone
This is why I'm like, you always have the same, and it's like the best phrasing. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
love it.
The way I describe it is like they always, because you know when like people, I don't know if y'all have been around like grad students, but they're obnoxious, and they'll like
Tell you everything about it.
they'll
Yes.
they'll like
Even
come
if you
together,
don't know
and when they come together,
what
they
it
just
is.
talk about like intra departmental stuff or
Yeah.
like intra like industry stuff, right? So they were all psych people, so they go off about psych stuff or like drama in the
It's a
department.
personality trait.
And so, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
Sorry.
Sean and I were what I like to say. We were the work wives. Where we were like they're talking about work. Let's just, hey, how's it going? And then we just like start hanging out within that context, and like started vibing within that context. I feel like you and I vibed like pretty immediately.
Well, what we would, for sure, because what we would do, so I would hide the good booze in the bathroom for parties. So then because I'm much more introverted, and
Yeah.
it's like, 35 people in
Right.
the apartment.
Right.
And I'm like, Daniel and a couple others, like, let's go hang out in the bathroom with the good booze and potentially a joint, and
Right.
just have our like chats with the good
absolutely.
booze.
the
and
more intimate
riff on some
conversation
cocktails
that
and-
isn't like super loud in the
Yes.
rest of the apartment.
So
Right.
that is the foundation of our friendship.
Yeah.
And from there, it just very quickly developed kind of everything that we're doing now with Chicago Cane
Literally.
Cooperative, because we're trying interesting booze, we're riffing on cocktails, we're talking about socialist politics, we're
Yeah.
talking about having a better work environment, we're talking about all of these things while we're drinking.
Yeah.
The Real
Like,
House Husbands of Chicago Cane.
I love that. I love that.
Before we end this
That
recording,
might be the name of this episode.
You need to
Okay.
come,
incredible.
you need
That's
to come up
incredible.
with like your
we
tagline.
need our tagline.
Yes.
Before we leave, we need our tagline.
Nariva just killed it. That was
that
fucking
was
great.
so good.
Fucking killed
Yeah.
it.
Consider
we
this
need our
episode
fucking
My
named.
brain is
Yeah.
literally 30% Real Housewife. It's not great, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, we kind of like, what's funny is, I mean, like, much like any good relationship, like I could say like me and my wife, but like you and I, we kind of like grew together into this as people, and also like grew into Chicago, like the like lefty history and politics of Chicago grew on me like the moment I moved here, and has brought me to the point that we're at. 'Cause, like I got involved in kind of like what we call like the left like milieu, because there's a lot of like little lefty groups here, and so I started getting involved and like doing organizing work. Sean did a lot of, he can speak on it, I don't want to like talk for him, but the music work that
I'll
he
dive
did,
in when you want.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, correction.
Daniel, what the fuck? How dare you? No, he did a lot of really cool like music activism kind of work. So like one example was you worked for the Swedish History Museum, right? Or
I did. I directed the Swedish choir for a year.
Right.
And then through that, I was also, we did this. Sorry, I totally like all of the thoughts get jumbled.
Oh, no,
Words
no.
are hard. Words
Yeah.
don't come to me first. Like it is hard for me to put things in words. So the year that I directed them was the year of the Syrian refugee crisis.
Right.
And
Wow.
Sweden had accepted more refugees per capita than any other country in Europe in that year. So I wanted our spring concert to kind of celebrate that fact and that reality and highlight what we could do in this country that we weren't doing and have different attitudes towards immigration.
Right.
So we musically mapped the journey of Syrian refugees to Sweden by singing songs, and we put together our own arrangements through improvisation. It was this like really meaningful concert, and it was really cool. It was a really cool experience to work with the Swedish choir. Shout out to the Swedish Choir of Chicago. Marula is their name. They're amazing people.
Yeah.
Just
I have never known this. I'm like fascinated. Okay, yes, continue.
So that was super cool.
That was. That
remember, like-
springboarded into other projects too.
I remember
like,
talking to you about like while you were like fucking composing it, and like there being like conservative elements within the choir that were like not cool with you doing it, and I was like, great, fuck them, keep going.
Yeah, it was so
awesome.
interesting. I learned so much because for the people in that choir, they're either from Sweden
Right.
or their ancestry is Swedish. So they have family from like first generation American. So it's a very touchy point for them to change the music that we're singing for our spring concert. And it took a lot of we adopted a very democratic process amongst the choir, and we voted on what we're going to do. And it was so interesting. There were some times where, we rehearsed for an hour and a half every Wednesday. And there were some times where we spent an hour voting and talking, and we would have 30 minutes to sing because it was really important to me that we were all aligned, which
Fair.
helped
Right.
me grow because I was like fresh out of undergrad in this music conservatory where I was like, singing in tune is the only thing that matters. Like, no, it's not. It's not the only thing that matters. It's about the community and who you're singing with.
Yeah. This fool, I love watching like his like musical knowledge and talent is wild, but talking about singing in tune, just funny. I picture him like hitting the tuning fork, putting in his ear, and like he.
Oh my gosh.
You
Very
you do that all the
Charlie
time.
Puth of you. Good God.
That's the image I've concocted in my head of you.
Because you've seen me do it.
I've seen you do it so many fucking times.
There's something that just popped in my mind is the like regulations and economics that groups of people will place upon one another.
Yep.
And the number one thing that I am currently entertained by is this 9-month cruise situation that is happening
my
on TikTok.
Wait,
It's
what?
amazing.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
just
don't
heard
know
about
about
it last
It's
week. You go.
absolutely
I like how we're both
phenomenal.
unaware. We're
Yeah,
like,
I'm
Yeah, no, I just learned about it
It
last
is
week.
absolutely
I'm not a TikTok
phenomenal.
bitch, but he is.
There is like, and every time on my For You page to where it's someone else that's on this fucking ship for 9 months, I feel like I've unlocked a new character, and I was just like, this is amazing. But
Yeah, they want to do a trip around the world,
yeah, it takes
kind
them
of
9
thing.
months, and
Yeah.
so
and they're just like live streaming basically it all the time.
yeah, and everyone's perspective is
this cool or
so
not cool?
It's so fascinating. I
Okay.
can't actually say if it's cool or not at all because every single video that I have watched, I'm just like, wow, so they wouldn't let the lower class members
Right.
like interact with the Northern Lights because they're not pinnacle status, but then also it's just like there are people that are acting like they're PITs, which is pinnacle in training, which is like the middle class trying to ascend to the upper
why
class.
does that sound like a cult?
It is insane,
Yes.
and it's floating on the
Holy
ocean
shit.
for like the next 7 fucking months. So whenever, and it's
That does sound like a TV
I
show.
feel like
it is a TV show.
I
That's
feel
the whole
like if
thing.
you
It's
keep
9 months
watching it,
of.
you're gonna see someone die.
Oh, someone has
Like-
already been airlifted from the ship, like
See?
out,
Oh
like
my
out the game,
God.
like out the game.
What?
Okay,
That's wild.
It's fascinating. So whenever
No.
you are bored, no, but do not do this because you.
I'm never bored. I'm always watching a million things.
No, I
Yeah,
know,
yeah, same.
but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, do not add it to anything to look at because it's
It'll
fucking
keep coming
insane.
out.
I never
because of
go
the
on
algorithm.
TikTok,
Coming up.
so
Yeah.
you
No,
don't have to
it's
worry
not
about it.
it's just not on TikTok. It started
It's
on
everywhere?
TikTok, but now it's everywhere
Damn.
because people just keep fucking talking about
The
it.
virus is spreading.
Yeah.
Yes, it is absolutely insane.
The
Were you
only thing-
patient zero,
Yeah.
Justin?
What's up?
Were you patient zero?
In this group, probably.
Yeah, I was like, for this conversation, but also I am a part of numerous group chats that this is so embarrassing. But the only reason why I bring it up is because it is fascinating to me how groups of people will start to regulate and demand things of one another just
this is going. Listen,
Like
this is going back to my
stratifying,
acid rant.
Yeah, like it's
So I one time took too much acid, and I was just standing on my porch in Vermont, looking at those like.
Oh, that's a good place
the
to do acid.
meter-
Yeah, that's a great place to do acid. Yeah.
And you know the the electrical meters. It has that like
Yeah.
little thing that like spins like this.
Yeah.
And because it's like counting
The, like, measure thing.
The measure
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
it's the watts.
I'm
I
just
think.
literally.
think.
I have no idea.
Okay,
I was just,
electrician.
like, on the
Okay,
porch.
listen. I was like, if anyone is an electrician that's
Let us
listening,
know.
please let us know.
What does it do?
Yeah, our,
Don't know.
our DMs are open.
But I'm like staring
Yes,
at
thank
it,
you.
and my friend for like a long time just thinking about like life and acid thoughts.
Right.
And my friend comes outside and he was like, "You want to share this Tootsie Pop on the beanbag and listen to Tribe Called Quest?" And I was like, "Sure."
Hell yeah.
But,
Sounds like
but
an
then I was
acid
like,
dream.
we just like make shit up to do. Like from as soon as we had thoughts, we were like, okay, we have to do this, and now we have specialties and jobs and like time and numbers. Whoever
baby.
fucking made numbers,
Civilization, baby.
trying to go back in time and murder you. We're the problem.
The entire Sumerian civilization.
Yeah.
Wipe it out. Genocide.
I know it already happened, but like, let's do it again. So my whole thing is that we just make shit up to do constantly all the time for no reason. And that's why when people are like, do you have hobbies? I'm like, yeah, I do. Watching Real Housewives.
Chilling the fuck out.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just like, I think as a society, we're just made to have a drive when the drive is always based and rooted somehow in making money or like
Absolutely.
making
I
status.
mean, yeah, you want me to?
And I'm
You want me to go there? I can go there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can fucking go there.
we're here.
Okay, so like before capitalism, the amount of work that people did was like a fourth of what we do now, right?
Yeah.
It was like the most work you did was like, oh fuck, it's harvest season. And you fucking harvest, or you make your shoes,
Right.
whatever the fuck job you
Yeah.
had.
Right.
But if you're the
And you-
harvester, that's it.
listen,
Well, and also one of the things is like from Jennifer Kim from the episode that she was on, she was like screaming it from the rooftops, and I could not fucking agree more. And it's such a powerful quote about how capitalism lacks imagination.
It does.
You know, it's just like it's such a beautiful statement because it's like fuck off.
And that's
Yeah.
why
That's why it
and that's why all the shit that
maintains.
we
Yes.
love gets thrown out because they're like, it's too weird, we don't like it, get it the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
But it's actually original and
Right.
creative.
It also
And, like,
it's
But it
part
shows
of the
that it says
design.
value
Yeah.
from someone
if
else,
you,
though. Like,
if you
that's
limit
insane.
someone's imagination, they're not going to imagine another future. How can
Right.
we embody something if we're in a system that limits imagination?
Can you tell that
that
to my
eliminates
boss?
imagination? I will
Extracts their
happily tell
labor.
that to your boss. Bring it on, yes.
Because I'm just like out here being like, because people have a mindset of what they think like bartenders and servers should be like. And I
Platonic ideal, if you will.
and I just refuse to be anything other than myself when I
Good.
show up
Absolutely.
at all times.
Fuck yeah.
And I think that other people in the service industry are uncomfortable by me having boundaries with customers because they're
As
like,
you
that's not
should.
how you make the most amount of money. I'm like, the tipping system was built
Right,
off of
right,
slavery,
yeah,
bitch.
right,
I need to earn my money.
Yeah.
I don't need to kiss ass
Grovel.
and
No,
grovel for
Right,
it.
right.
If I show up and I clock in, I should be paid a livable
That's
fucking wage.
first
Yes.
off, power
Yeah.
to you for
Yeah.
fucking fighting for your
Like,
dignity, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Because there's so many little especially service, but just working in the world we inhabit now. There's so many instances of the way it takes away your fucking dignity, or chisels
Yes.
away at it, or chunks away at it, right?
Yeah.
And fuck that, you know?
not doing that.
Fuck that shit.
I got a lot better with service industry when I started setting boundaries.
You did, I remember
where I remember the first time. I hope I never forget the first time I did it. I had this. I was working at a place. There was a bar and
Is it
two
the
different
place
kitchens.
I'm thinking of?
It was probably.
And you tread lightly.
And they were insistent that their second course come out with their wine at the same time.
Ah, yes.
And I was like, those are coming from two different places. I'm gonna do my best. And they're like, they need to come out at the same time. I'm like, I'm gonna do my best. What do you want? What else do you want from me?
Right.
And as I remember setting that boundary and just feeling like, oh, I don't need to, I'm going to do my best. I just told them, and they can live and their heart will still beat if they don't get their fucking wine and second course at the same
there's
time.
also that disconnect from ownership, management to the actual labor force, right? Like the whole fucking idea of, you know, the guest or customer is always correct is so null and void and such a portfolio of bullshit to where it's like, you have got to be kidding me here, because you're consistently working against the people that are helping execute your vision.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, every single decision you make.
Or even put it in their terms, who are making you money.
Yeah.
Right.
The people who are making you
Well,
money.
and the contradiction there is also like, if you like set
like
their, that's right. If you set their creativity free, right? If you let them be fucking, you know, as creative as they want in that position, it's like that will ultimately like benefit the company or whatever, right?
100.
But there's this contradiction of like the top-down thing has to happen top-down because that's how it is.
Well, because they don't care about sustainability; they care about commodities.
Right.
It's like
That's
it's like a
the
really
difference.
inappropriate game of telephone. Like everyone has an idea of what they think is
That's a
happening.
telephone that needs to be hung up.
And
man.
it's like
fucking insane.
the fuck do you mean? Yeah.
Right. Game of telephone over.
No, thank you.
I was just like, I do not fucking think so. But I can go off on a fucking tangent on that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm so glad we went. That was so good. Oh, that was great.
Yes.
I think a lot of it for me is because I came from back of house.
Right.
So I'm already used to working 1,000 trillion hours and getting paid dog shit and being like, oh yeah, this is like acceptable. And now that I'm front of house and I'm making slightly more money, people are like, oh, like this is it. Like you should be so grateful for this opportunity to be out
If
here.
anyone
I'm
tells you to be grateful for anything, is like the appropriate reaction is something that I
you
should
should
not
be
be
grateful
saying.
is so demeaning.
Yeah.
That's such a-
Extremely.
yeah, I'm just like,
Don't
I
tell
should be
me.
grateful
Yeah.
for what?
Yeah.
Like, the only thing I need to do is stay black and die. That's it. Like, in that order.
Right.
I feel that. I'm with
Thank
it.
you for the clarification.
Yeah.
Very,
Like-
very much needed.
Some moments
I
I
was
would like to
actually
cease to
planning on
exist.
dying and then coming back
Yeah,
and
no.
haunting everyone.
That see,
Oh,
if
I
I
really
could like,
do want to do that.
if
though.
I could temporarily cease to exist, like in little snippets, that'd be cool.
like, if I could
You
do
know?
that
Is that
for
sleep?
all of sad.
Kind of. I suppose so. Except I do that.
Daniel, you want to sleep more.
You're still.
I do that pretty
existing.
shittily.
Okay, Dan,
Are you not a good sleeper, Daniel?
I have the worst insomnia. Yeah.
No. Like yeah, pin drops, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh no.
You don't,
not
allow,
that
like,
guy.
you don't allow yourself to like get into like that deep.
No, and
deep
brother, let me tell you, since this whole thing, even worse.
Damn. I just.
Damn, Daniel.
I just
at
felt
it
like I
again.
just felt like it was going to naturally happen.
It's
so
just-
That?
there you go. Yeah.
I just like I have such intense FOMO that I think that my
In general?
insomnia, I'm afraid of missing out all the time. It's not just
feel
in like
that.
life. It's also like I'll be up and I know I have something to do early in the morning and it's 2:00 in the morning and I'm like, but if I watch the next episode of this, I will know what happens. And it's like,
Okay, that's a
it's-
different FOMO.
no,
though.
that's what I'm saying. My FOMO is all inclusive. It's not just the
Got it.
fear of missing out on something that's happening outside. It's the fear of missing out
Bro, your brain
on
is
an
on, like-
episode of a show that is
Yeah.
already off television, and I'm literally watching it on Netflix. Like, it will be there forever.
Don't talk to my wife about Supernatural.
Oh,
my
bitch. I watched every single fucking episode.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
then forgot that I hadn't watched the last
never
season.
seen it.
And Netflix
Don't.
was like,
Don't.
watch again. And I went on, and it was like a whole season that I just never watched before. And I was like,
What a gift.
it's so bad. Did I cry for every single episode
It's
of
like,
that last
Lord,
season?
I
Yes,
see
did.
what you have done for others. Okay? So, thank you so much
Literally.
for blessing me.
The Lord was a character in
Quoted by
the show
Narita Shepherd.
Supernatural, and his name was Chuck.
No, look, my wife goes to Supernatural conventions. I don't need to hear it here. She's that
She's
level.
next level.
She's
I
that
learned
level.
about classic rock from watching Supernatural.
She will not stop listening to Blue Oyster Group or whatever the fuck it's called, Mountain Rocky Oysters, whatever the fuck they're called.
No idea. I have no clue.
Blue Oyster Cult. Blue Oyster
The
Cult? Is that the
only
name?
I'm not gonna know.
Yes?
Don't look at me. I don't know.
Listen, the only song that
Sean,
was
what are you
rent
talking about?
free
It's like music.
is like the Eye of the Tiger episode where Dean is like afraid of everything.
No.
That's a good one.
Wait, talking about music. No, the music that he's familiar with. If you talk about Beyonce, then he's familiar.
Okay, well,
So-
let's not do that right now because then these two mics need to go off. Okay, because then
It'll start going off.
Yeah, that will be a whole.
Real
different
quick
conversation.
thing is when we were doing our first bottling for Chicago Can Cooperative.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, y'all.
That's right.
Yes.
The labeler broke, and so it was Sean and I doing, and the guys that worked at the distillery doing, labeling work and bottling work, and we were sitting there just bottling, and it had been maybe a few months since the album came out, and we were
one?
just listening.
Renaissance.
And it was just on repeat, and Sean's just sitting there dancing.
Well,
I'm
you know
sorry.
what? That
if
is
you
a
want
way to
me,
increase productivity.
It really is.
Okay.
we had to hand
There we
apply
go.
like 450 labels.
It was a good
more
time.
than that. It was double because it was a double-sided label and the straps.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, we
gotta get
we
in the
gotta
zone.
jam
You gotta,
out
like,
on-
you gotta-
Yeah. Virgo's groove.
If you will,
Duh.
come on, ladies.
Yeah.
It's
we
so
need
accurate,
to get
though.
information.
So accurate.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
You
We
know.
called it together. Gathered the troops.
Yes.
Well.
That was a
Beyonce is a Virgo.
that was a vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So then talking about
So yeah, I mean, going back to like how Sean and I met, we went through the alcohol stuff. We just like nerded out about alcohol. Sean would do these really lovely like botanical infusions, just random ass. He's like, I have like cardamom and like elderflower sitting here. I'm just gonna throw it in.
It
there
was
and see
like
what
literally
happens."
what I was finding on sale.
Yeah.
Or like a forage situation where I'm like,
Yes.
look at this thing.
Look at
Let's
this
see
cool
how this
spice.
tastes now.
And this like, he's also just like obsessed with Swedish culture. This like aquavit loving motherfucker.
I fucking love
Aquavit is-
Aquavit.
Yeah,
The tits.
this guy.
So fucking good.
So like we would nerd out about that stuff, or I would be like find a crazy bottle of whatever, and then I forget when it was, but at some point in the middle of our friendship, I started reading this book that was about the history of Cuba through the lens of Cuban rum.
Yes.
Which like Bacardi obviously is a huge influence. So it's called
I
Bacardi and the
literally
Long Fight
didn't
for
even
Cuba.
know that Bacardi
Was Cuban.
was Cuban until I was in Puerto Rico at the Bacardi factory and they were doing the whole spiel.
yeah.
I was
We
in
fled Bacardi.
Havana, and yes, we have to talk about that. By the
yeah.
way, it was absolutely amazing. They have, and correct me if I'm wrong, like the original, like
There's
place or the emblem.
There's a building, the
Yeah.
Bacardi building, a
Yes.
gorgeous Art Deco building.
Yeah.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Gorgeous Art Deco building. That was like the administration headquarters
Yeah.
for Bacardi. Their manufacturing is based out of Santiago de Cuba, which is on the other side by like Guantanamo.
Got it.
But the like administrative headquarters was in Havana at that building, and it is a fucking gorgeous building.
Yeah,
It's
because
so pretty.
we did, and soft plug here, we did a beautiful rooftop dinner in Old Havana, and we could like see it from there. It was gorgeous.
Sounds incredible. Yeah.
It was absolutely fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was years ago,
Yeah.
and I had such a transformative trip there because the reason why we were there is we linked up Chicago-based artists with their
Havana
Cuban creative counterparts.
That's sick.
Yeah, and then we facilitated
that.
artist workshops to essentially resource exchange.
I want to see that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
I wanna
It
see
was-
that.
so
I
cool.
wanna.
Yeah, it was
does
absolutely
cool shit.
It was absolutely phenomenal,
cool.
and we got brands to help us pay for it.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Because
Wow.
we were selling tickets to Americans, and we got a very significant percentage from it.
Nice.
And from there, we were able to hire Cuban locals to help us, facilitate all of this. And we
Wow.
had like Cuban like cooks and chefs
Yeah.
and bartenders, and it's the kook and the coop, right?
They got rid of it now, but yeah.
Yeah, so
That's a
what-
whole motherfucking
yeah,
thing.
I can only, and
That's a whole-
they also got rid of like Western Union, which is how like
Another
the
whole thing.
whole thing.
Another whole thing.
Yes, and so it was so wild because there was this gentleman to where like the and again, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
the tourist currency is worth more.
So-
yeah.
They
And that's
got-
what I gave him, and he literally looked like he was about to like lose his mind.
Yeah, so it's been taken, like, not abolished, but whatever. They got rid of it. There was the moneda nacional, which is the regular Cuban peso, and then there's the
That sounds so nice.
the convertible, which is the CUC, the CUC.
sounds nice.
The convertible was pegged to the dollar 1-to-1, and so what it did. Oh, this is a whole thing. I could
But wouldn't you
go off about
be
this.
penalized for bringing American currency to Cuba? Because
Yeah, so the
because we
converter-
had to convert everything to euros.
to euros first. Yep. So
Yeah.
it's like a political, like,
It's wild.
it's a political fuck the U.S. thing where if
Yeah.
you bring in dollars,
Yeah.
they will devalue the conversion by like 15% or something.
Yeah.
So it's a way to be like, embargo, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
no, I learned so much
Yeah.
from that experience, and we were there for a week. And,
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, it was.
if you ever
Yeah,
do that
we're
again,
gonna-
how old your boy?
Oh no! For
Let me
sure.
the fuck know.
Yeah, it was absolutely everything, and I was like, you know, this is. I don't want to say it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity because I intend on doing it
Right,
again.
but it could be.
But it most certainly could be, and just with the work that you all are doing, I was like, run.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that because I felt like I was drowning in Havana Club.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
But I felt great all the time because I was sweating my fucking ass off and I had no problem with the heat. So I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this is absolutely phenomenal. And then I was like, well, now I have to come back to the States.
Yeah.
And I can't have this
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
because they're not going to let me
America.
have that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
They'll get you every time.
it got me. Yes. So
Well, they'll have my sources if you want Havana Club.
we're going to talk about that off mic.
Off
Because
the record.
Yeah, because I most certainly, off the record, would not be mad at that.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. So to bring it back, I'm really interested to hear from the both of you in regards to your business model.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, really focusing on, you know, worker equity and just like, you know, really embodying a kind of labor forward
Yeah.
brand,
Yeah.
which, as we all know, a lot of portfolios and a lot of brands specifically, they're just like, okay, we're gonna extract this,
Yeah.
and then we're going to either sell it back to them
Yeah.
at a higher rate, or we're just gonna extract as much as we can and then just
Yeah, or
never
like
see you again.
reference the like awful slavery history, like talk about slavery a little bit in their marketing, and then just be like, whatever, and
Yeah.
then just sell a product like one that rhymes with fantation.
I didn't say it, but I'm glad someone else did.
Now it rhymes with manta ray.
That's right. That's right. They changed it, and it's awful, and it's hilarious. It is
Yeah.
a joke. Anyway,
I was like, they need to fix that market. Oh, actually, they got yeah.
but so yeah, we like we ended up
It's giving
vibing
Dixie chicks.
on it. Oh my god.
The chicks. The chicks, babe. It's
Oh my
giving the
god.
chicks.
Oh, it is the chicks now,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
No, Dixie Chicks is such a better name. Anyway,
Well,
Yeah, well,
man.
yep. Continue.
So, Sean and I, we like developed this friendship with like he would make really fun alcoholic like infusions, and then I would bring really cool bottles, and we just nerd out about that. I started reading this book about the history of rum in Cuba, the section where they talk about Facundo Bacardi, like his process of making the rum. Me being ADHD hobby body that I am, I was like, yo, that sounds fun. And so, to my wife's chagrin, I bought on eBay like a literal pot still. Like it was a literal pot with a tube coming out the top.
yeah, yeah.
And that's how I started. If you gave me that now, I could probably make some pretty good stuff. But back then, I did not know what I
Well,
was
were
doing at
you
all.
also using like, what is that brand of molasses from the grocery store?
Yeah, just like Golden Barrel,
Yeah.
like mass market stuff. Working with what I could out of
Yep.
5-gallon buckets.
You're making some hooch.
Yeah. Well, people would come over and be like, what is bubbling in the guest shower, like in the second shower? Why are there bubbling buckets over there? I'm like, don't worry, it's the alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first started, what I made was absolute dog shit. It was awful. but I got.
Well, at least you have grown from that, because people are just putting out dog shit, and
But Daniel, remember
So,
that one
yeah,
that I like
very much that.
put
So,
orange peels
yeah.
and fenugreek and coriander
Yeah.
and it made a good infusion with a bunch of those botanicals.
It did. That saved it. One might say.
Yeah.
Also, wait. Write that down.
I do. I have it written down.
Okay, I was like,
got it.
hold up.
And also, this is being recorded.
Virgo over here.
He's like,
Okay.
bitch, it is written in 5 places.
My nephew
And
is
backed up
a
somewhere, so,
double
yep.
Capricorn Virgo, and I'm like, you will be rich and well-adjusted in a very fucked up way. You will have enough money to pay the therapist to help you.
That's right.
That's important.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
know, and that's. He's also going to be an engineer, and just remember, Caden, I am your favorite aunt, and you're going to take care of me.
Okay.
Yeah,
In old age, I will be living with you.
damn right.
You better remember it.
And here is the testament.
Yes,
Right now.
it is written.
So then
It is here.
Daniel comes with, okay, this hobby is more than a hobby.
Yeah.
Let's start a business.
Let's think about
Let's start a
something here.
worker-owned distillery.
It took us a few years to formulate an idea.
Yeah. This was 2018.
Yeah.
Like the bathroom joint booze talks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what if this could be cool? No.
Yeah.
So December
So many of,
2019.
my time in
2019.
New York, to where it's like sitting on a rooftop in Brooklyn and be like,
Yes.
what do you think about art? It feels like so
Laissez-faire.
yeah, like
Meanwhile, I was just
We were
smoking
just,
a joint on a fire escape in Harlem.
having fun.
Anyway, that's more
it's
my
like-
vibe.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is happening? But there's
That's kinda
value
how-
there.
What? Yeah,
Right?
we're
Yeah.
connecting and kind of
Imagining.
trying to share reality on how we see the future.
Yeah.
And so then fast forward December 2019,
Mm-hmm.
we get together. We're like, let's do this. We wrote a brand script. We're like, this is what we want to do. At that time, we don't need to say what our name was because it's not our name anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a cool name, and it was really fun to just tie in the history of making rum to the labor movement.
Yeah.
And why we're a worker cooperative, and kind of put that all on the page. I remember we were pacing around your living room,
Yeah.
being like, there was so much energy in that moment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we just kind of continued from there. And then of course, March 2020 happens, and that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we took a little break.
Well, it was we were kind of formulating things, getting the ball rolling. COVID happened, started working from home. I was working at a graphic design job at a publishing company. I got laid off. On the laid off, once I was laid off, I was like, okay, I got that unemployment. Let's try to do something. And so that was full time. Was here we fucking go kind of thing. And it kind of just started snowballing from there.
Nice. Well, so sorry, Nuri, but just
I was so confused.
yeah,
I was like,
Which
is
one's
this-
your glass?
No, this
yeah.
is mine. This is mine.
Yeah. Who does
I don't know.
that? Me.
Okay, well, this
That
is now
you?
mine.
Man.
Is this you?
I'll take it.
This is
Okay,
you. There you go.
I haven't had it this whole time. I didn't
Yeah,
realize.
no worries. Yeah. Oh, that has been yours.
I didn't even know.
You were
Okay, well, there
just
we go.
keeping his own products.
I
from
was
him.
not. I was not trying to at all. One thing that I want to
Gatekeeping.
mention.
Just kidding.
God damn it! No, absolute
erasure.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
How
I was
can
like,
we-
I was like, I will not stand for this bullshit.
How can we?
I was like, oh my
slander.
god! Oh my god!
As
But
a
no,
bi man, I will not be erased.
Stop it!
I will not.
Oh my
I will not be
I am
silenced.
just going
like
to
it.
say. I'm just going to say, because I think that it's really important for people to understand, kind of a common thread through all of the conversations that we have been having with terms of service over the course of 3 years, which is, again, wild to fucking think about.
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
so
Moment. Snaps
thank you,
for that.
thank you, is that of COVID and the industry shutdown and,
Right.
the impact of it. Because we have gotten feedback. It's like, oh, you still you still bringing up the pandemic and, the shutdown. And it's just like, yes, these things are
It's ongoing.
still
Yes.
very much
Yeah, it is.
needed conversations, because it created things, it destroyed things,
Yep.
it inspired people,
Yep.
it did a lot within the context of the industry.
Truly.
And when people think that they can just turn off COVID and the pandemic, that comes from a place of privilege, and that is not something that I ever want to glaze over. I always want to be like, yes, we are going to acknowledge that March 2020 fucking happened, and people lost their fucking jobs. People that were undocumented fucking workers could not access federal fucking assistance, state assistance. So what were they supposed to do? Like all of these purveyors out here being like, well, all of this product is going to shit, and so let's figure out a way to actually finally become a resource to our community,
like feed people,
and actually fucking feed people, you know, that fucking need it. You know, for like the first
all
time.
the snaps in the
You
fucking
know,
world.
like all of these
All
fucking
the
things. Like
motherfucking snaps.
I will never understand to where people just like, well, that's something that fucking happened. It's just like, it was a trauma that we all shared in,
trauma,
and
that
and
we're
if
still
it wasn't-
recovering from.
and if
We
it-
are in the middle of the largest COVID surge since
right now.
the summer of
Right,
2020.
Yeah.
Right
well,
now.
and then also on top of that, I mean, fucking terms of service may not even have existed
Damn right.
if that did
that
not
had happened,
happen, because
I
we
would still
wanted
be a chef.
Yeah, see, like those are the things.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a lot. I mean, countless realities could like are shifted.
Well, to your point, it
you know?
exposed so much. It exposed so much. It like you're saying, like folks.
That's the last one.
Folks,
Yep.
folks like, you know, lost their livelihoods. Folks there's no food. There's food going bad. Hey, how about we come up with systems that could feed these people with the food going bad that doesn't necessarily have to profit off it. It like exposes so much to people.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oops.
I also just feel like it's only recently in the last year that I've come to understand some of the ways that time changed me in
for
my
sure.
life. Because it was so long that I didn't even feel capable of confronting that emotional trauma and those that activation. It was really hard to look at that because we were too close to it. I could not understand.
Right. Yeah. Well, because you're very much in it though, and it's something that no one was actually knowing how to fucking process. Because you know, time didn't fucking exist. You know,
No, it
like
It really didn't.
at all.
Like, how is it 2024?
It's
holy
2024 because time did not exist for so fucking long, and that's what people just like. Time has been flying by. And it's like, yes, in the way that we have been experiencing it, abso-fucking-lutely.
And I think
know?
that time, just like you're saying for terms of service, for Chicago Cane Cooperative, that time was really important and became an essential part of our foundation because we were taking the time to really consider how we wanted to start a business. What kind of business do we want to start? What are we worried about? How are we going to measure our success? How are we concerned for our community? And that just became a foundation for us.
Yeah, and within that context, there was a certain amount of, I mean, like the world went to shit for sure, and that exposed a bunch of stuff. There's a certain like auspiciousness too of like our timing. It seemed like pretty good in the sense of like in 2020, effective 2020, there was a new law in Illinois that is for how we incorporated. Under the LLC law, now there's a worker cooperative option, and it's LWCA. It's Limited Worker Cooperative Association, and it gives certain like tax exemptions and stuff.
Which, for anyone interested in that, whether they're a collective of workers looking to buy the business that they work
Especially
for,
that.
or owners who want to convert, or people starting a business, talk to Sarah Kaplan. She's a great lawyer.
With a K. She's the one that helped us like incorporate and do the bylaws and all that stuff. She's incredible.
And do it. It's very great to have worker-owned and cooperative businesses. It's good for everyone.
Well, then you can get on the phone with the people in the office, and they're like, "I can't enter this option. You have to come in physically to do it because it's a new thing." Anyway, so that was the whole fucking thing. But
you can't come in because nothing's open.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. I'm glad that I have to do this in person and not online because it says LWC instead of LLC. Anyway, it was pretty auspicious in the sense of like we timed it as that became like, and it gave us the option to do that instead of doing some convoluted LLC but write it in kind of shit. And so also there's a certain amount of like we have taken our time with it. The pandemic happened, that kind of like influenced what we were thinking in terms of like we need to absolutely have this cooperative structure in place. Because before we were kind of like, yeah, like maybe it's a good idea. And then later we were like, no, we need to fucking do it. I think we came to that decision in like 2019. But also like the ethos of this fucking city with like Haymarket and all the like just the labor actions that have happened in the city, right?
Absolutely.
There's like a huge, like Haymarket is like the birth of the American labor movement.
And also, for those that are listening, that will automatically equate this to the fucking bar/restaurant.
Oh,
in
sorry.
West Loop.
Sorry, yeah.
Please do a little bit of fucking research. I
The
beg you.
Haymarket Affair.
Yes, because it is not only that. Okay, so thank you in advance.
But
So, yeah.
yeah, so the
Drives me insane. Yeah.
the way we started, it was like first we were trying to find a brick and mortar joint, and it would have cost a lot up front. The way I phrased it is just kind of like blowing our load up front,
Yeah.
which I'm glad we did not do that.
There we go. Yeah.
We would probably be very non-business right now.
We would not exist.
Yeah, there's no way that would
way.
have worked out. So we're doing, right now we have a contracting agreement with an existing
Or Daniel,
distillery.
we'd be here and really stressed.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Just like the tone would be very, very different.
Yeah.
We'd all be sitting here like holding hands, which I'm so down with, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'd
in
need like
general.
a kumbaya. We would
Yes, exactly. It's just like, okay, like,
come
let's
together,
breathe together.
help
It's
me.
gonna be fine. Just like, I'm like, you're doing great. Okay.
So originally the dream was like small space. We're doing a little small volume kind of thing. That is not a good way to survive in this economy.
It's not a good way to start. It's definitely not a good way to start.
No, and so we, instead of doing that, we kind of pivoted to this manufacturing agreement that we have with the distillery that we're working with. So I get to like use my formula there, right, effectively. But where was I going with that?
Do we want to
talking
plug
about
them? We can plug them. They're great.
Two Eagles? Yeah, they're
Yeah,
great.
Two Eagles is great.
Cool.
Alexander James also uses the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. I was like, we just like Morton Grove,
Mount Prospect.
Mount
Mount
Prospect.
Prospect. There you go.
Yeah.
I was like, Marcus, thank you so much. Can we take that out? But yeah,
What's actually
Yeah.
really,
You're a real
I am
person.
going to plug Two Eagles more because they have a solidarity aspect to what they do that is really great.
They've been super helpful, yeah.
It's also a way it's part of their business model, so it's also a way for them to make money, which
Yeah.
is really great. But they have been so helpful. We come to them with questions because we're like, we don't know how to the expectations of delivering cases necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, oh, here are the things, or hey, set this up, and they've just
They've been great.
really, really helpful, which is
That
important.
is phenomenal.
It's so
Absolutely.
important for
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the health of this industry that everybody is also looking to reach back in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing with the service industry. We're like, the camaraderie of being in it together is so great that it feels like very often that it's a relay and everyone's like just passing it on. And that's the way it should be, but then we have some assholes out there.
Oh, but the people,
that
but like that communitarian aspect of
that
it,
top level.
that's at the heart of so many things. That's at the
It's-
heart of
Yeah.
so many things.
Absolutely.
I dare say our species. Anyway,
Right. Well, so,
Agreed.
and I just want to just take a very brief moment to actually acknowledge the delicious product that we have been enjoying.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I finished my first one.
The
But
gold.
now I'm on the second. And if you both...
how do you feel about the differences? Talk about how you.
Second one, spicy.
That's what I said.
Here for it.
Yeah.
I took a
Absolutely
sip, I
here
was like,
for
it's
it.
spicy.
Yes. First one, really enjoy. I feel like just super smooth.
smooth.
I like a little spice. I like a little attitude.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, okay,
Shocking.
but that's
I know to
because
no
you're
one. So,
fucking
oops.
Jamaican,
I
and the
know.
Jamaican rum hits
I know.
different.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
gold a little bit more than the silver because in Trinidad, rums are clean.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not trying to be funky. They're not trying to be like sweet. They're not. They're just like
Wait, like rum nerd shit.
yeah. It's
Have you
just, like,
had
very
Caroni?
clean. Yes.
Oh my
Car-
god.
okay.
Caroni, sorry.
Caroni.
Sorry.
Literally. I was at Milk Room.
She said, "Put some respect on."
I went to Milk Room and this like random white dude comes in, and my brother and I had been there
no.
for like some time, and he was going on and on about how much he loves rum, and he kept
Caroni.
saying Caroni, and I felt like, you know, that little Mexican girl whose mom is like, how do you say this word? How do white people say it? I feel like he was that dude.
like meme.
Yes, and I just remember yelling across the bar, "It's not Caroni,
Caroni.
it's Caroni." And
You
the
hit it.
lady-
You hit it with
the
that. I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
Born and raised, man.
Yeah.
And so
she'll
my
code switch on here. And I'm
brother.
like,
Can you just code switch into the Trini thing?
Listen, sometimes when people call my job and I answer the phone, I answer in a Trini accent and I carry on the entire conversation as such.
Is it Trini accent? I love that shit.
Yeah. And my coworkers are like, that was unnecessary, but now they're going to be so confused when they come in and you're not here. Like, I'm here.
Whatever.
Like, who the fuck is this bitch?
Well, like a quick aside, I went to high school in New York. My mom's side are New York Cubans. And so I lived in New York for that part of my life. And
Hella Caribbean people.
my
you say
mom.
Harlem?
So no, I was raised in the suburbs, but we would be in the city
it.
all the time
Okay.
because my mom. This is a whole other side that we can get into, but do not have to because it's a whole thing. My mom raised me in a cult, and the cult was the local branch was in Queens. So we were in Queens all the fucking time, in Jamaica, Queens. And so the amount
been
of
there.
Jamaicans and Trinis that I was like raised around when I was a teenager, there's so many fucking Jamaicans and Trinis.
Parents, this is the thing. Caribbean parents are so out of pocket. You will hear the most random shit ever.
My
from
mother.
like
My mother.
Yeah.
it makes you strong.
Oh,
God dang.
Yeah.
Oh, Sharon is a saint. It wasn't Sharon. It was Phyllis, my grandmother. She was on one. R.I.P. She was a cunt, but I love her. I said what I said.
the lovable cunt. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the more I think about it, if I close my eyes, I think that I'm just living Phyllis's life now. I just slowly have merged into
Your grandmother?
being my grandmother. I have too many cats. I don't like to leave my apartment.
You know where this comes from? The beret? My grandpa wore berets all the time, which there's a story behind that. But so I like when he died, I got all his berets. So like I feel you.
Is
on
that one of his?
That one I just bought. It's a new one. It's
Not that
fresh.
one.
It's
Okay,
fresh.
Okay, well, can you
It's a
like
fresh fit.
tell a story for me so that I like have a reason to cry right now?
Sorry, this is my grandpa's. This is my grandpa's hat.
Okay, but I was like, oh my god. I was like,
That's so
please
sweet.
tell me
That's
that
so
is
Like the one I
of
wore
his
at
berets.
Rumfest.
Yeah.
That's one of my grandpa's. It's an
You
old
can see
ratty
that.
one
You can
too.
see that picture of Daniel wearing his grandfather's beret on our Instagram, Chicago King Co-op.
Yes, plug it.
There you are. Yes, I was just like, do the thing. Oh my gosh.
So
Silver is like
yeah.
slightly funkier.
The silver's more in like a Jamaican kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's what
Right.
I'm getting.
Right. So
Yeah.
like the styles that what we're doing here is with the gold, running it through what's called the Solaris system. Which a Solaris
I
system,
know her.
if you know wine, like so they use that in sherry wine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the reason that in sherry wine there is no age statement on it, right? Because it's constantly blending through the system. The idea there is
Top down.
it'll give it more of like a Havana Club Zacapa kind of like finish, especially over time. Because right now she young.
She young.
It says the age. One of our tenants.
June 24th,
is-
2022.
Damn, he's got it memorized. Look at this guy. Hell yeah.
That's when we started our Solera.
Hell yeah. So for us, like, one of our big, aside from
good.
equity,
Yeah.
one of our big tenants is transparency. We're trying not to, because again, in the liquor industry, but especially rum, there's a lot of fuck shit.
Yep.
There's a lot of hiding of what goes
Yeah.
in the bottle. You see a black rum, you're like, to the uneducated consumer, that's like, oh, it's aged. And it's like, nah, they just added caramel and shit to it. Right? So,
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of fuck shit.
Yeah.
And so, not that, like, the tradition of adding stuff to the rum after is bad.
No.
But we want to be transparent about that. So, this one, we don't add anything to it. We're considering doing a black rum in that style. We may or may not do it. But this guy has the date on the back of when the Solera started because of the transparency thing. We want to be very upfront about that.
I really enjoy the gold
Yeah.
heavy
Yeah.
because I feel like, especially in America,
right here.
they're so invested in like the tiki-ness of rum beverages, and I'm just like,
You're tired of overproof?
Like, it's like, for me, it's like the equivalent of when people are like, the weed is too damn strong now.
oh my
That's how I
God.
feel about the rum.
I-
I'm like, you're doing too much.
Wait,
Right.
I agree with both those sentiments.
Yeah.
Yeah, why we gotta be so strong?
here like-
I've been cutting my joints with like cardamom and different
Yeah.
botanicals.
Wait, that
'cause
sounds
I don't
incredible.
Okay, that sounds
It's
wonderful.
they're great.
Wait,
They're great.
can I like buy one off you? That
We
sounds
can.
great.
I have one here.
Oh my God, thank you. That sounds phenomenal.
Episode over. Okay.
Done. Close.
I was like, great. Thank you so much.
I think that one has juniper in it. I think it's juniper.
I'm like I'm a spliff bitch because the weed is too. I've always been a.
The weed is too
spliff
damn
bitch.
strong.
It's too damn strong.
Too damn strong.
There we
Why
go.
you gotta be
shit to do.
We
I'm
had to.
trying to do shit today, and if I smoke just
That's what I'm saying.
weed, I'm not doing anything.
That's what I'm saying. And the
So-
same with alcohol. So like,
Yeah.
I even say this as a fucking distiller. There is like, once you go past 50% for sipping something neat, it's starting to get a little too much. Like 50% whiskey, perfect. You see 55, 60,
Yeah,
like,
what are you even
no,
tasting
hard-
at that point?
Hard
What
no.
is this?
You want the
Yeah.
burn.
That's what, for me, the sweet spot is between 40 and 50. Like,
Well, it's also funny because like one of my go-to beverages, if I don't like know anything else, I'm just like,
Split base.
it's like if you know. If I feel like you know what the fuck you're doing, I'm gonna ask for a split base daiquiri.
a good split.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, the options for a split base daiquiri
Yeah.
to actually make it something beautiful
Yeah.
are
Limited.
few and far
Yeah.
in between because they grab the brand shit.
Yes.
You know? And it's just like I watch them do it.
You know what's really good?
That?
Is the silver
The
split with my plug Linda Sullivan and Lucy Pistolas and
It's
Villa Suso.
so good.
So Lucy Pistolas and Villa Suso mezcales from Guanajuato, if I remember correctly.
Fucks with mezcal.
We've worked with Linda Sullivan. Linda Sullivan's like one of their like reps. She's a great human being, and we did an event together, which was actually the day of my accident. Had and a beautiful split-based daiquiri with, I think it was the Lucy Pistolas and the silver.
Yeah.
Fucking phenomenal.
Okay. I'm in.
It's so good.
I'm in. I mean, and also I just like I never. It's just the industry like in me, right? It's just like, okay, it's like, hey Justin, how is it? I'm just like acidic.
Yeah. I could taste the lime.
Yeah. I was just like, yeah.
I don't when I go out, I don't even order drinks that have citrus in it because
They gonna fuck it up.
They're gonna fuck it up, or it's not fresh. And ever since
Yeah.
I turned
Oh,
26, my body
be
will reject
Yeah.
heavily anything that isn't fresh squeezed in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened,
Yeah.
but my bowels.
But
do
you
not
talking about like
connect.
same day or like
Like-
several days?
No,
like
same
moment,
day.
like-
that moment.
Like
Yeah.
the morning
Like, I
and then
need-
to the night is
Yeah.
bad
No,
for you?
I think
No, that's good. That's the ideal.
Okay.
Got it.
Everything else is
But like a day or
garbage.
two is like nah.
No,
Not
you
gonna happen.
can't do it.
It's why daiquiri is the litmus
Yeah.
for so much. Because I'm like,
It's such a great
can,
litmus.
is
max
this
liver.
spirit able to stand
Yeah,
up
yeah.
to the high acid and sugar content
Hell
of this
yeah.
cocktail?
Right.
Yeah.
It's
It's such
you
a-
can't hide.
Yeah.
You
It's
can't
such a
hide.
fucking
And if it can,
beautiful-
great. Is it
Right.
giving me? Oops, sorry. Is
Right,
it
you're
is
fine.
is this cocktail giving me flavor profile? Because
Yeah.
the rum has tropical fruit notes. Because it is like overripe fruit, which to
Yeah.
me is what a daiquiri rum should be.
Yeah.
And our silver rum makes a really good daiquiri.
Plug for a different kind of Caribbean cocktail. A fucking tea punch
Oh yeah.
done
That's
correctly
what
with
we're
cane
gonna-
syrup and not just
so
like Demerara
good.
Yes.
sugar, but like cane
And that's
syrup.
another
Yes.
flex because if it can be a warm cocktail or a room temperature cocktail,
That's what I'm saying. I've discovered that the cane syrup, if you put an ice cube in that cup and try to get the cane syrup to dissolve, it is not going to
No,
dissolve.
no, I made a cocktail called No Big Deal for the like fall menu, I think.
You should have
And-
partnered with the Pickled Prince on that.
Bitch. Right now. But I made like a dill.
Shout out to Brian Charles Green.
Wait, dill, write it down. Dill rum, write it down.
I made a dill.
I have that literally infusing at home right now. Like I'm experimenting with dill rum.
He's on it,
like,
he's on it, he's
it's
on it.
happening.
So I did a dill shrub and I used
Ooh.
cane
Yum.
sugar to do it because the standard is always white
Fucking
sugar.
beet
for
sugar.
everything. And people didn't like it because it didn't look clean. And I'm like, sugar comes from a fucking plant, bitch. Like, it's not
what
white.
it doesn't look clean.
Wait, like
It wasn't
like it's too
clear.
brown.
Yeah, it was like it was too brown.
Damn.
Oh no,
That's
it
like
has extra
commentary.
bitterness
That's
for me
like-
to enjoy on my palate.
Like-
That's how I want.
That's like some like extra commentary on the side. It was too brown.
Dill.
We need it clear. It's too brown.
Yeah, you know,
It's too
that
round.
speaks. That speaks. So yeah.
Sheesh.
I walk into this
Fucking
place, it's
sheesh.
too brown, it's weird, get out, like, we don't want it.
That's why I love the cane syrup though, because it makes it like a lovely caramel color.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's really nice.
And I feel like it's sold really well to people that like kombuchas,
Oh, I was gonna
Because
say,
it-
silver me if you have it.
you know?
Because sometimes you get the like savory kombucha.
Yeah,
With
that's I'm a savory cocktail bitch.
I
That's
love
why I'm
savory
like,
Splash.
this,
Yeah.
I feel like
Thank you,
this
thank you.
would
You're
be,
welcome.
the silver would be really good in a savory
It is.
cocktail.
Daniel made an
Oh my
improved
god!
Sazerac.
Can I brag about a cocktail? I suck at inventing cocktails.
That's
Normally-
not true.
Same.
You're not a one-hit wonder, Daniel. You're good at inventing cocktails.
All right, let me be self-deprecating. Goddamn.
Damn, Daniel!
Oh my God.
Let me shit on
Back
myself.
at it
You're,
again
you
with
need a
the
moment. You need a
self-deprecation.
moment. You need,
Tell me I'm terrible.
you tell
If you pay
yourself
me
that.
$20 an hour, I'll do it.
That's right. If you pay me on it.
If you pay me, I'll do it. But
Findom, is that what's happening right now?
I'm not gonna tell you you're
That's-
bad for free. That's crazy.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's a different job.
Yeah.
That is a very different job, okay? And we care about equity here.
Yes.
That's right. That's
yes. Yes, and being compensated.
The cocktail I did, the name that. Oh, I'll get to the
Don't
name
even
later.
go to the name.
I'll get to the name later.
The previous name.
It was hilarious the way that we got there. Anyway,
Okay, that's true. It is a good story.
It was hilarious. Anyway, so I made up a cocktail that I was watching what's his face on YouTube, Greg from How to Drink, and he was talking about how the absinthe, rinse in a Sazerac is actually a riff on a fancy. What was it called? Yeah, a fancy, or what is it?
Fancy whiskey cocktail.
Right? Yeah, like a improved whiskey cocktail.
Yes.
And that's
An improvement
where,
is adding absinthe, Luxardo, some other
Yep,
elements.
it's
too.
like a few dashes of absinthe, a little bit of like 0.25 ounce maraschino liqueur, your base spirit, and then my riff on it was walnut bitters and the cherry bark vanilla.
Oh yeah,
bitters.
I know her.
Yeah. Oh my god. And that was incredible with
Oh
the
my God.
silver.
so
Okay.
good.
Incredible.
It's the walnut bitters that you had just mentioned.
Uh-huh.
Because
Did that set something off in your brain?
it
Your
did
brain,
set something
it's
off
firing.
in the brain because I have a menu that Ashley, shout out to Ashley, has been working so goddamn hard on
Damn right.
for Maria's dinner series.
Hell yeah.
And it has something with walnut bitters and it's gonna be fucking fire.
Yeah.
Walnut
And
bitters are
yeah.
clutch. Clutch.
yeah.
Also,
Help me find them.
maybe.
Oh, I got you.
Maybe Nocino forthcoming.
so
Oh,
much.
Nocino.
Maybe
Yes.
Nocino forthcoming. Chicago Green Cooperative, maybe Nocino. Anyway, I would love to make
Listen,
one.
I literally have been sending videos to Ashley of random things that she can forage in Pittsburgh.
Yo.
And,
And being
yeah.
like, you should just
Yeah.
go to this alley. I know it's a
She
little
just got
sketchy,
back from
but
Italy. You know?
But
listen,
the-
I'm not going to talk about it, but I hope she's doing very well
She was
And
doing just fine
with
in Italy.
who she found.
Black walnuts are like so important for where we live, for
Yeah.
North America, and
There's a
this part,
fuck ton
like,
of them everywhere.
Yeah,
Especially this part of the woods. Yeah, making an Nocino is like kind of a layup. I feel like once we can.
That's a sports ball reference.
That's right. That-
Sports show. Okay.
Sorry, sports show.
Wait,
it's
also another plug. Talking about like what we're dreaming for and what we're trying to build. I mean, like right now we don't have our own physical distillery, but like one of our goals is to have our own space in the city and to be a place that's like, manufacturing a lot of shit. The like the aesthetic goal or like vibe for us is like if you've been to, Off Color's location over
Yeah.
there,
Mhm.
the Mousetrap, where it's like you can see
Yeah.
into the production
Yeah,
space.
that's like Balmoral area. It's where
Kingsbury.
we know them up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like
Half
have
acres up
something
there.
like that is our idea, and then also like what we would love to do. Sean and I have talked about. There's a few like examples that I can pull up or that I've shown him online, but we'd love the space to be somewhere where like we can have like a dinner and like performance night for artists, right?
So
we
this
should
it's a
totally
recent
talk
thing. Like all of
about
these queer performance spaces are kind of like Berlin just closed.
Oh my God, fucking Berlin!
And Camilla Fox's show
But
at Meeting
also,
House Tavern.
Fuck those owners.
Oh, for
Okay,
sure.
Like,
1,000,000,000%.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just been like a very fluctuating landscape.
They're
with
like, hey, we're
queer
gonna unionize it. They're like,
performance
fuck you.
spaces,
It's like, oh, cool.
We want to do that.
like we're done.
That's important.
Fucking
That's important to
wild.
me.
That is like it's wild that happened, man.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. But that is a thing that people do, man. That it's in, historically, if you unionize, that is an option for the bosses to do. Is just shut shit down.
Well, because
it's fucking wild.
It's such a red flag to even mention that, to where organizations have procedures as to how to handle it.
Oh yeah, union busting. Yeah.
If they
Hell yeah.
hear it, like it's and very much alive in this day and age. And if people think that it's larger groups that are only doing this, they're very, very mistaken.
Oh.
Because it's just like, no, we don't think that, or I don't want to just say that they don't think that you're worth it, but it's like, oh, it's going to cost me too much money.
Yep.
So, and I'm not seeing you as the individual that you are. I'm only seeing you for the value and what you're bringing towards my business.
When it's everything from like Starbucks, which I'm in an organization
Or like
called
Star
Social
Sense.
Alternative. That's right. And we've done help or work with like unionizing Starbucks locations and shit. But like everything from Starbucks to like Army Social.
Yeah.
Everything in between. Like there's been like there is intimidation and tactics and textbook fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
That shit is everywhere. And it sucks. Yes, the Berlin example is like such a
That's why
sharp, poignant example.
But
It's
that's why
wild.
Jen's going back to imagination.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's imagine what this could be instead.
right.
Let's build that and let's work
that's
from
literally what we're doing here every
Yep.
time we sit down and start talking on the mic. Is like we are like thinking about what this industry can look like.
Yeah.
And trying to like plot ideas, just earworm bitches.
Yeah.
That's right.
Seriously.
and
forever.
what we're thinking and our dream is every aspect of hospitality, from manufacturing to delivering your drink
Yep.
at the bar,
Yep.
can be worker owned.
Yeah.
The workers can have agency in that space.
Even the farming that makes the thing, right?
which we're working with. We get our molasses from a farming cooperative very intentionally.
right.
Well, and it's interesting because larger brands will use the term co-op, right? And so what is truly fascinating about their, let me make sure I'm phrasing this correctly, their
Like Schmarty Fly.
yeah, it's just like
3
that,
letters?
Like, yeah,
Is
like,
that the one we're thinking about?
Yeah, but they're trying to, like, they're implying an intention that is not actually
Like manifested.
and valid, right?
Yeah.
Because so there's a brand specifically that I am thinking of in addition to the other one that you were making me think of right now. And it's just like, okay, here we are, we're supporting this community
Right.
in this country. Here are the people on our Instagram page. Everything looks amazing. It's great. It's phenomenal. But then when you really look at it, you never truly see any sort of ascension.
Material.
Exactly. Like
It's giving Madonna adopting African children.
Yes,
my
exactly.
God.
Exactly. It's performative. It's
Yes.
absolutely performative because it's just like, well, when you look at this shit and you're just like, oh, we're so excited about this and like blah blah blah. It's like, well,
But what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's happening?
Yeah, but nothing is happening except all of this money going through your distribution company or like importer or because those dollars that you are turning around and supporting are only going so far as to where you're sending it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so you're not sending the full value of what you're getting back to those
Right.
that are breaking their backs to do this
like
shit
comms or some
day
shit.
in and day out.
You know
that
who
kind of
don't do
vibe?
that?
Yeah,
Mezcal Union. They don't do that.
that's
They-
fact.
they get
I fuck with their shit heavy.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the-
we love Champ.
Champ.
Yes.
I don't even.
The man.
Yes.
Oh, is that the rep?
No.
Oh no, that's Marco. We also love Marco. Shout out to Marco. But Champ, Alejandro Champion.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we did a live recording with him at the Albion Manor during the
cool.
holidays.
It was right when
Like,
last year.
Yeah.
Not this
It's
Christmas,
the
but
year
the previous
past.
one.
Yeah.
And it was
he
when
came
his
out
book
from
was
Mexico
dropping.
City and the whole thing. It was like
It was like as his
we
book
felt
was
so
coming out.
legit.
It was
Wow.
good.
they're
yeah.
cool as hell, and also
Yeah.
like the product, the Uno, the like
Yes.
base one.
Yeah.
I quite like it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is
No, for sure.
my favorite to use for.
Cortland
a,
always
like,
welcomes me with a shot of that
mezcal
at
old-fashioned.
Dove's. And I was like,
That Uno
Thanks,
is like
Gordon.
they're like cheaper one too, and it's like quite nice.
I like the Daniello, though.
It has the I do as well. The Uno has the cereal agave in it, which is like really uncommon, mixed with the I think it's espadín. Anyway,
I also
yeah.
just want to say that I love so much sitting down with individuals that represent a cause and a brand that do not shy away from actually acknowledging the successes of other brands.
Oh,
Yeah.
word, yeah.
You know,
you.
like I think that
We
is
have to do
extra-
that.
But
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely so important for people to
Yeah.
hear because sometimes people are like, well, you know, I'm here. This is the only thing that I can talk about. Like this is what we're doing. It's like no, we're all very much a part of a community
Yeah.
culture here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if one of us is winning, then that
All of
leads
us are.
it leads the charge for
Yes.
another one of us.
Rising
And it
tide
just-
floats all
yeah,
boats kind of thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And let's
You
just
know?
make
Yeah.
let's make it easier for the next people
Yes.
who are stepping in
God
our
for
like,
fucking bid.
It does
Right.
not have to be.
Yeah, it's
we
the opposite
build a
of-
road and other people fucking use it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
It's the
Yeah.
opposite energy
Right.
of the people who are like, well, I had to pay my student loans, so why should
Oh,
yours
right.
be
Yeah.
forgiven?
Yeah.
It's the opposite of
We're
that
not
energy.
gatekeeping.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
was really hard for me, so I want to make it easier for you.
Yeah.
Right.
My life was hard, so yours should
Yeah.
be too.
Yeah, it's just like it's the most difficult thing that I've ever done. Good luck.
And also, we
I'm
want
like,
to.
the what?
Yeah.
We want to. Well, just me. I feel like truth and honesty has been like a guiding principle for me in my life. That's been
Yeah.
a very important,
For
true
sure.
north for
Yeah.
me. And it's the same with Chicago Cane Cooperative.
That has like rubbed off on me too.
Why don't we rest on our
doing
laurels of
that.
like what we're making? Do
Yeah.
people enjoy it? If they don't, why are we going to tell them that they have to?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not what we're about. People,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
people
like, if you
will
don't like it, you
enjoy,
don't like it, whatever. That's
or
fine.
they're like, we really appreciate your perspective on this industry, so we want to support you in that way too. Like
Yeah.
there are so many things that we're trying to do,
Yeah.
and people can respond to us how they choose.
Yeah.
And we trust that they're going to respond to us in a positive way and give feedback when we need it and create space for all of the growth.
Yeah.
Why does that bar us from talking about other people who are also successful?
Yeah,
That's
and then like,
like-
transition or like it's a small pivot is like we're talking about Sean brought up like having in his past like to like democratically come to decisions like the way that we have our bylaws and it's a very intentional set of bylaws in terms of democratically setting things up. It has to be at least 51% owned by workers. The other investors can have 49 or less percent. Workers vote on how things are run, but it's not just voting on how things are run in profit sharing. Like that's obviously huge, right? Having literal equity, not just like using equity as a buzzword, but having literal fucking equity.
And people understanding the value of equity.
Right.
Yeah.
And that being like, well, I have that. I was like, but what does that mean? How can you
What
leverage
materially
that?
is
Like,
that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Like,
so,
what
like-
can you touch in that?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Our thing is like if you're going to be a worker member, you're going to have literal equity, literal ownership of where you work, right? And so like for us, I gotta get some too. For us, I'm tipsy. We out
Listen,
here.
We've been having a great time.
We out here.
Jesse did this to us. He started it. You're finishing
Can
it.
That's
I
right.
also like break to pee in a minute?
Oh yeah, well we're
Not
wrapping
allowed.
up momentarily.
We're wrapping up
Yes. so,
Great.
He was
I'll
just
just
like, we
wait
got hit with
to
a
pee.
90-minute mark.
I hope that's in the episode. I
Oh, yeah, we'll keep
Uh,
it.
yeah.
We'll keep it.
Well, I mean,
Marcus, keep it.
everybody who knows me knows I have a small bladder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Marcus, keep it in there. Keep it in there.
Okay.
Yeah, leave it in there. Leave it in there. Don't
Okay, but
erase
don't.
his.
Okay. So
Dude, we're not erasing producing a small bladder.
Yeah, so
That's
we're
right.
just
Bladder
gonna,
erasure, bladder erasure.
We're gonna figure it out when we get there. I promise.
Nah, but like talking about like democratic shit. We like so there's
We could vote on it actually, but anyway, I've moved on.
I vote
Go
that you
ahead.
don't get to pee. No peeing for you.
Yeah.
You made me swallow the rum wrong. And now I'm coughing.
That's right.
You made,
Fire.
You made it there.
My man spit fire.
Oh my god. Please continue.
Oh, okay. Don't get me start going in patois. All I know is I got the wataguan and
Oh
after
my
that,
god. Okay.
all the fucking Jamaicans speaking patois
I
around
was
me,
like,
man.
I was like, oh my god. I was like, yes. Continue.
All I
But
got
no,
left is the
continue.
Wataguan. But yeah, so the democratic thing, it's not just like the structure stuff. We have like a rough structure, and that'll be something that'll be refined as we grow. But it's there to be refined. But the other thing is that like Sean and I have a really fucking good rapport in the sense of,
It seems like you don't hate each other.
you know, important to not.
I'm glad it seems that way. No,
Actually, but like what I feel like there's a bit of a what I tend to tell people is like we did this, like this is our brand, like, and he is like the yin to my yang in the sense of like we are able to like
y'all just gave the cutest look. Oh.
we're able to like he's able to like emotionally check me sometimes on things, or I'll be like, hold up, can we like rewind and like big picture this shit? Sorry, Mike.
Who's Mike?
Right, that's right.
There you go.
And so like we're also, as we have, you know, we have Natalie that just came on, Gaurav, aka Prince, is another partner of ours. We're like trying to make sure that like as we knock shit out and get shit done, we're also laying down like, for lack of a fucking less corporate annoying way of saying it, like a culture that is one of like, nah, say your piece, like speak your mind, make sure you're heard, kind of thing.
Super important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every creative meeting, we start with like a burnout check. I was with Katie, Cassie, and
It's
Mandy.
like, how
How
y'all
we doing?
feeling? Are you
How
good?
we doing? Like,
Check in.
is this not working? Is this
Right.
working?
And it's important for us to like have that. Maybe like we'll come up with ways of formalizing it later on in the bylaws, but like having that there is a, again, buzzword that's thrown around a lot, but like a radical level of communication. Like you have to be radically like transparent with yourself and other people. So like I was saying, as a Scorpio, I'm working on being in touch with my feelings and like being transparent about that shit. I have to do that for this to work.
I have a friend very into astrology who told me, because I have a lot of Scorpios in my life, and she said, and this has stuck with
Sounds
me,
like a wild
that Scorpios teach Virgos about their power, and Virgos teach Scorpios about truth.
Yeah.
And I feel like that works for us too.
Like me, you're like, yeah, you check me and you're like, but are you okay with it? And I'm like, yeah, you're right, I'm not.
I'm
Like,
not okay.
it's like, yeah, you're right. I got to be open and honest. So there's that, like the, you know, we have the, you know, once someone works for us, the idea also, there's people are like, you just, all the workers control it and that's it. It's like, yes, but also there's like a trial period. So like folks work for a year, and once folks have worked for a year, the way we have it set up right now, they will be offered, you know, worker owner like share. And so then they will be able to vote in how things are run, profit share, etc. But that 1 year is really just like an asshole red flag check, right? Like we want someone that can like play nice with everyone, not just a fucking, you know, someone's going to steamroll us and be a fucking asshole about things.
Which everybody, we have people so interested in our model and they want to be a part of it. So we haven't really had any.
There's no issue yet.
Like,
but it's
people
there
get
like
it.
just in case.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
But that's it. And there's like so many people in the like worker cooperative community. There's like a lot of people that are really supportive. I mean, like it was like Richard Wolff set up the Democracy at Work Foundation, which is really cool. And it's kind of like a federation of worker cooperatives. Dick Wolf, that's right.
SVU.
That's
I mean,
Full circle, baby.
bring it back.
you know, I was like, someone's got to do it, and I figured it'd be you. So
I'm more of a Bob's Burgers bitch. But
also valid in
a good one.
So absolutely. But really, really quickly. So your current model is literally the model that larger organizations pretend that they have.
Yes.
yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
are they? I don't even know
Yes.
if they're pretending.
No, for them they are.
I don't mean that as though they're doing it. I mean, what I don't. I guess I don't know who you're talking about, which we don't need to go there.
It's not even- we don't even have to go
we
into, like,
most
the
certainly
example.
will talk about it specifically off mic.
Yeah. Great.
However, a place that
Like they cosplay it.
Cosplay.
That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
cooperative.
Like,
Yes.
they,
Yeah.
people want to give the illusion that they are doing the right thing without ever actually
Having to do shit.
seen
Yeah.
what
Okay,
the right
yeah,
thing is,
yeah.
knowing
and
what
then
the
be
right
open
thing
to
is.
the feedback as to when you
Word.
do the wrong
Here's
thing.
the thing.
That's also a big part of what we're doing is like being open to the thing is like, okay, we right now, these bottles, are they sourced from a worker cooperative? No, they're sourced from like fucking India or something. But as we grow, like, will we love to source it from like a unionized shop or a worker cooperative shop? Fuck yeah.
So
Right?
here's
like,
the
that
thing.
kind of thing.
Like,
Yeah.
we make rum, and I've learned from Daniel in making rum that categories of rum are so nebulous and confusing.
Extremely.
Yeah.
But we're a worker cooperative, and being a worker cooperative is a like definition. It is defined what it means to be a worker cooperative. Daniel talked about the law that was passed in 2020 in Illinois that allows us to be an LWCA. So these businesses that are claiming something, ask them if they're a registered worker cooperative. What is their business title, and how are they registered with the state of Illinois?
Challenge them.
I think that is the real question, because being a registered worker cooperative is really important for the industry. It's
Yeah.
really important for solidarity. It's really important to live with the past and present in reciprocity.
Yeah.
So let's do that, have that together, lift up the workers who are, again, like we said earlier, making you the money.
Yes. Yeah.
And allow them to find themselves in that.
And that's
work.
also part of the transparency, right? Is we want to be pretty transparent about what we're doing, not just what goes in the bottle. That's really important to me as the product guy, obviously. But we want to be really transparent about our business model. We were talking about internally at the very least, maybe not externally, but like who's making what.
Yeah.
Money rise. Transparent about that.
Yeah.
Transparent about.
Okay, can I talk about my dream for that? I don't know if this is
Yeah.
ever gonna, but my dream for
Donnie.
that is that we have a more than livable wage
God
that
forbid.
everybody's making the same, and then we all
Right.
share profit at the same percent
Yeah.
because we're all
Yeah.
contributing to the work
Right.
that is being done, that is allowing the company to
Yeah,
make
God
money.
forbid. Yeah. Yeah,
can't
and
we
so
have
like
that?
having transparency around that, having transparency around like, look, this is where the molasses is from. I didn't even think about this, but like I would love to, if we could at some point, do a trip to like where the fuck the molasses is made and like look at the shit, look at the conditions and shit, right? Because you wanna
make
be
sure.
familiar with
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So yeah, it's we're also kind of like at a we're figuring it out as we go. We're fucking around and finding out.
Damn right.
In
Yeah.
that sense.
That's a real science.
How else do you do that? It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like we'll figure out if people want us to be more transparent about where the molasses comes from, we can do that. If people want us to be more transparent about, I don't know, what other thing we'll do it. Like we want people to be confident in like this is how the thing is made. You can be confident that when we say it, that's how it's made. If you want the receipts, here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's huge. That's huge for us.
I mean, talk about fuck around and find out. Like, Daniel, neither of us has like a business background
No.
or like anything.
Nah.
Like we're just
Yeah.
we're
that's
like
what I'm
we're gonna
saying.
fuck around and find
We're
out.
two
and
creative
figure
bitches
out-
just trying to figure out
We're
some
gonna
shit.
figure it
It's
out.
giving Real Housewives Salt Lake City.
Oh my God.
It's giving Lisa. It's
my
giving
God. Oh, we need our
Vita
taglines.
tequila. Where does that tequila even fucking exist?
Yo.
I've never seen it anywhere.
There's a reason we call this Founders Blend because I like this shit a lot.
It's good.
Do you like
It is my
I like
blend.
read
This
the
is
back of that one and be like, what the fuck is this?
this is
And
my
now I
blend.
know.
That's why.
Yeah.
I'm glad you know from the back of the label.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
I wrote that.
Very
You're
well
welcome.
done.
I
Very well done.
hate when someone asks me a question about a spirit and I go to the bottle and there's not a single
gives you nothing.
fucking thing about it.
Yeah.
Or it'll just tell you like that blip of like their marketing.
Yeah.
Yes. And
I'm
you know what I
like-
do love
I'm
talking
like, you
about?
know what? This person was walking down the street.
Yeah.
So
they just like
we'll
work-
try it together.
Well, and oftentimes the marketing shit is just like these are words.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
this means nothing.
All it's like
Right.
it gives all recipes.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah,
to,
yeah,
like-
yeah,
You have to like scroll all the
That
way
fucking
down
website.
to get to the important
Yes,
bits.
yes,
But you have to read someone's entire fucking
I do
life
fuck with that
story.
website though, because all
I
recipes.
still fuck with it.
It has great, like, it's a good repository of recipes, right?
One of
like,
the
it's
last
fantastic.
things that the owners at the previous place I was at before the panini was like.
I love calling it a panini.
Yeah. They.
Panini, Ponderosa, Pterosaur, all of it. You know.
Oh god! It just the thought went out of my brain. What were we talking
Come
about?
back. No?
No, it's gone. Never mind.
Talking about labels, though, one of the things I love is the mezcal, like the fucking list of shit. Like, this is the mezcalero, this is the agave.
That's so
Yes.
fun.
This season, like, yes, give me all the fucking
And a little
information.
diagram and chart on the side. Thank you so much. Give me
Yeah.
the statistics.
I got into an argument recently about labeling.
Argument?
Right? Yeah. Mhm.
Damn.
It was with a brand. A
Oh.
part of a portfolio.
Oh.
And so I was just like, well, when I'm asking a question, it's because I significantly need an answer.
I need a fucking answer.
And the idea of just like, oh, it's on the bottle. It's like, it's not.
It's not, though.
The
I'm
goddamn
asking
bottle.
you.
Okay, so I was just like, so like, what is the things? Okay, and just like when we're requesting like tasting notes and like, you know,
Yeah.
but what are these actual things? Like, what are the true
Yeah.
things in here?
Right.
And it's just like, oh, well, you know, like, it's just like, if you ever answer a question that has you know in it, it's just like, you don't know, okay? And you do not want the person that you're talking to know that you don't actually fucking know
Yeah.
the answer to what they're asking you.
I'll
Can
try to
I-
tell someone I don't know.
Can I take a
Yeah,
moment
as you should.
and just read the bottles?
Yes. Yes.
Of course.
Boom.
Like,
You got one.
Okay, I'm starting with the Founders Blend, launched in October of last year.
Damn.
We're gonna say it again for the folks in the
I
back.
love that part.
Rum categories are
That part.
confusing. A blend means the bottle combines different rums. In this case, a combination of our Solera aged gold rum and silver rum. Merging these two spirits at a higher ABV offers a stellar sipping spirit that adds magic to your favorite rum cocktails. The founders of Chicago Cane Cooperative, one of the first worker cooperative spirit companies, created this blend to celebrate our founding in 2023. Shout out to the Chicago Rum Club for their help making this bottle possible.
And also, really quickly, come through alliteration.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's right.
Yes, I was like, do not think that I did not pick up on that.
That's
I was
right.
just like, okay. God damn it, I forgot the first S, but those 3 S's right there were everything.
Where was
Sipping,
it?
spirit. It's in there, but what is before sipping?
Stellar, sipping.
Stellar sipping spirit.
It's
So, stellar sipping
alliteration.
There you go.
Okay, I was just like,
CCC, SSS.
talent.
We're here.
Okay?
We're here.
Talent. Exactly.
can-
I was like, beautiful.
The little story behind this guy. So when we started producing, what happened was, what we brought home in the beginning that was in the barrel, you know, taking little bottles home, ended up not being what the gold is now. And we were like, love what the gold is now, but we want to capture what that was, right? Because it was a blend of stuff that was fresh off the still and a blend of stuff that was in the barrel. And we were like, that shit was dope. It was really fun. And so the Founders Blend is as close of an approximation as I can get to it, which is pretty damn close. And hence the name. It's kind of like an insider's, you know, like it's the if you know, you know
Yeah.
kind of thing. Talking about tea punch. This thing, the tea punch,
I can see how that would be an excellent
Yeah.
choice.
it's so good.
So
We have 110% maxed out our time.
I just like
Max has run out of time cards for us.
1,000 minutes.
Yes, a banner that goes across the
Wrap the fuck up.
room, yes. So I mean, I felt like I had a closing question, but
You no longer do?
Well, no, because I feel like you both just really ended it on such a beautiful note. And one thing that I'm curious about is, in order for people to support you and celebrate the brand and the journey and the growth,
Yeah.
outside of buying the bottles and carrying it and so on and so forth, like, I mean, how do you envision community support?
I mean, like, on a personal level, that's a big one, right? Just like, you know, we're just two guys doing a rum company, man. Just like talk to
With
us.
like amazing contractors who
Yeah.
are so helpful, and I want to give more work. And
yeah, and so like,
Yeah, for sure.
like if you know, want to support it, you can just talk to us.
How can they find you?
Aside from buying bottles, what's that?
How can they find you?
Oh, so yeah, you got the Instagram, you got at Chicago Cane Co-op on Instagram.
Yep.
That's the only social right now. The website is chicagocane.com. We have a few link trees about like my accident stuff. We didn't talk about that, and like also just the company.
the articles.
And then
Also,
like,
just reach out to me if you really want to like chat about
Like-
stuff. It's Sean@chicagocane.com. SEAN.
we're people. You can talk to us. Daniel@chicagocane.com. Like we're people you can talk to. You can like fuck. Our DMs are open, as they say.
no, for sure.
Always.
Yeah. And so we did not get into the specifics of your accident. However, is there anything that you want to mention in regards to also community support in your journey as well?
I mean, just thankfulness of a lot of things. I know we're over time, and I can go on forever about it, but
We're only over time because the paper has ran out, but the memory card is sufficient.
that's right.
So go ahead.
So, I mean, as far as the injuries is concerned, you know, had a accident, car ran a stop sign on the way home from the gym, and I had less than 1 or 2 seconds to react, which is not enough time.
No.
So, yeah, severed my spinal cord at L1, which is great. But I'm thankful for having gone through all that shit. I'm thankful for, number one, my wife, to get me through this shit.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for not like, well, obviously her as an individual, but like her as an us. You know what I mean? Like, I am thankful for us as a unit and her as an individual. The other thing is I'm extremely thankful for the community that we have, which like there's layers to it. There's like immediate friends and family, like my mom, my mother-in-law, and my sister came through to help my wife and I in the first like month or two that this happened, which was fucking awful. And then also like friends came through. We had like a meal train. Friends came by to just visit. A simple visit does a lot.
Yeah.
Sean brought me a cactus. I love that little cactus.
And a little espresso cup because
Yeah.
you love espresso.
Yeah. It's sitting on our windowsill right now. So like our community there is great. But even like beyond that, there's people who know us, who put in an order for the rum just to support. There are people who I have not met in person, but know of me through Chicago Green Cooperative. They either donated to the GoFundMe or like got their bar to stock the rum.
Yeah, literally,
dope.
I
That's
realized how, like, entrenched you are in the community because I was, like, at a bar just having, like, a drink with a friend, and the bartenders there were talking about
Wow.
you and this like horrible thing that happened, but you're like trying your best to be positive. That's the other thing. Like
Wow.
you being like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to like get there as like as soon as I can. I'm like, bitch,
Yeah.
do what you have to do first.
Yeah.
Your social media updates
Also
made
amazing.
me
Thank you.
sob.
Same.
Because
Daniel.
they were just so
I'm like almost crying
Yes,
right
and
now.
also
Thank you.
I have gotten emotional on this goddamn platform. I'm trying not to do it because I'm sitting right next to you. We both can't be emotional.
That's right.
But you know what? We will allow ourselves to feel how we're feeling.
Feel the
so
feels.
It's entirely fine.
Feel the feels.
Yes, and so
If you want, I can hit you to stop you from feeling the emotion.
Naweeba, I am talking. but so it was so inspiring because I mean, just to keep it within the context of the industry, it's just like it can like just beat you the fuck down, right?
Yeah.
Like absolutely beat you the fuck down. It's just like, oh, like I'm doing this because I'm like making some money, but then it's like at what fucking cost? And then
Right.
it's just like something like that really fucking like opens your eyes and humbles you and be like, you know what? Like look at like the light in your fucking eyes, man. Look at the fucking positivity that you're radiating
Yeah.
through something that is so like I could never put into words.
Yeah.
It breaks a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you truly don't seem to be broken in that way.
Yeah,
appreciate
Daniel,
that.
your I mean, I've
appreciate
said
it.
the whole time, like, your resiliency is just really inspiring.
Yeah.
Is it out of
Yeah.
spite or being petty?
That's right. Well, it's one
Feel
of
like
those
you're not
things-
gonna get me out
Yeah,
of
that's
here.
how I feel.
That's what I'm saying.
It was like
That's what
quick
I'm- yeah, yeah.
projection. Is it out of spite?
And that's what I'm saying. It's like one of my posts was like talking about that. It's like talking about how people are like, yo, you're so positive and you're getting. It's like, yeah, we are. Also, this shit is hard and this shit really fucking sucks. And we cry and, you know, like get in our feelings about it all the fucking time. But it's like once you've cried your tears, it's like,
What are you gonna do now?
Now I have to live.
I gotta do some shit.
Yep.
Let's go. Like, it's like I have too much shit to do.
Literally.
I have too much shit to do.
We have too many things.
That's right. I also, part of that, like you're saying, Ariba, just chilling on the couch. That
Yeah.
is one of my too many things to do. Is
Yeah.
I need some recovery time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, I don't know. It's
Therapist
just
said sometimes you just gotta do nothing,
yeah.
and that's okay too. And
That's-
I'm like,
yes.
Mommy,
And
that feels
that's
great.
crazy.
It feels
Yeah.
lovely.
That's important.
Actually.
Yeah.
I'm also like really like humbled and touched that like some random bartenders I don't know we're talking about.
That's the thing, like, and it's more than just that one instance as well, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
That means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got shooters on the ground.
I know.
I mean,
I
you
fucking
know.
I love seeing that shit.
Out here. So
You want no problem.
zero. So on that note,
We are the dread-headed ones.
Yeah.
Who fuck shit up.
That's right. That's right.
you know.
Is that one of the lyrics? It is,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah. No license for that.
We can't.
But great song. Well,
We got yelled at again, so we got to do the
no,
thing.
I just want to thank you both independently for coming and
Yeah, for
being
real.
here, but then also for you both as a unit and all of the work that you have committed to doing with
Found each
Chicago Cane Cooperative. It is absolutely fucking necessary and it's inspiring. And also, like, shout out to the community for holding you through the process
Hell yeah.
and assisting you to make these milestones.
yeah.
Which
for
is like the service industry
Hell
at
yeah.
its core.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And like,
Hell
you
yeah.
know, for the empowerment of laborers in this fucking industry.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like that, that feels like a very lonely journey, but it's also fulfilling at the same time.
Yeah, but like
right?
everyone's coming out in spades.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, I never met these people, but like, it's so cool to see, like, there's like, it's like shadow community, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
people, they're just out here.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I fucking,
They outside.
I fucking
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, with that,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give a supreme shout out and thank you to the homies at Blind Barber for hosting this necessary conversation.
Thank you.
You know, I just keep wrapping my head around the
And
fact that
being
this is
fucking
season 4.
ADA compliant.
Yeah, you know,
Thank
and
you.
also yes, being ADA compliant.
I can pee somewhere.
Yes, you know,
That shit's real.
do what you got to do, and then also I was like, I don't know how to respond to that, but I was like, yes, I was like, yes,
But it's
yes.
real, that's it.
I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, because that.
You gotta go, you gotta go.
That's right,
Yes,
that's right.
Yes, and this for me has been a really significant reminder of how the community responds,
Right.
and it's truly beautiful to see it in practice. And on that note, I am Justin Arnett, and you can find me on Instagram at thisisbiko, and I'm so fucking happy, and I just hit the mic and
You're falling apart.
yeah, I am falling apart because I'm so fucking happy. I'm happy, and I'm just like,
Yes.
I'm gonna stop
love
talking
it.
because like my voice is gonna start cracking. Nariba, stop looking at me. Go do your thing, okay?
Yeah, I'm Nariba Shepherd. You can find me at Rebaru, Rebaru, on the gram. And not to be confused with Justin. But yeah, that's it. We're out. Bye, guys.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Take care of yourself,
Thank you
y'all.
so much.
Love y'all.
Yeah,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it.